Well, it looks like I'm ready for Alien Thanksgiving. One more take. Watch out, Paisley. Well, it looks like I'm ready for Alien Thanksgiving. Hi there, readers. It's Chris with Deep Dive Books, the show where a librarian talks about books. This is part 2 of our series on Moon People by Dale M. Courtney. So if you haven't watched part 1 yet, go back and watch it now or you'll be really confused. For those of you who did watch part 1, you'll recall that our hero, David Bramer, left his high school teaching job to join a space mission aboard Lunar Base 1. The NASA vessel was just about to engage with an alien ship, and that's where we left off.
All of a sudden, the alien ship was right in front of the Admiral's USS Lunar Base 1.
And, hey, this image is stolen. Yeah, Star Wars ripped off Moon People. Actually, I think you've got it backwards. Star Wars came out way before Moon People. Silence, Nugget. George Lucas, you owe Dale M. Courtney a big apology, copycat. This, alien ship is one of a handful of pictures scattered throughout the book. Most of them are extremely low res and stretched in funny ways. Besides the picture of the alien ship, there's also this stock image of a NASA shuttle. Yes, that's the actual resolution. And this one of Lunar Base 1. I don't know where this image actually came from, but I'm certain Dale Courtney didn't create it himself. Anyway, this is a moment in history. Mankind is about to make first contact with extraterrestrial life. Here comes my favorite dialogue in the entire book. Open a line to the alien ship, Lieutenant, with a nice greeting. What language, sir? Let's try English, Lieutenant. The aliens respond, Hello, people from Earth. We are on a peaceful mission of exploration for other life forms and to make friends and trade only. We mean you no harm. We would like to meet with you and get to know you better. Please do not be bothered by our appearance. This is Admiral Benson of the USS Lunar Base 1. We had hoped this because we would like the same thing very much too. Your appearance will not bother us, and we mean you no harm. You know, the polite thing would have been for Admiral Benson to say something like, Please do not be alarmed by our appearance either. But he's just like, Oh yeah, we assumed you'd be hideous, but we promise not to throw up when we look at you. The aliens, it turns out, have been monitoring our satellite communications and TV networks for years, and they like a lot of our movies. My ship is called in your language the Galumpa, which means in your language the Star Lion, or Star King of the Beasts. Wait, if it's called the Galumpa in our language, then what is it called in the aliens' language? Well, whatever the translation, I guarantee that if I ever buy a boat, I'm naming it the Galumpa. Or the Star Lion. Or Star King of the Beasts. And my name in short is called Captain Tudmoke. My people are also called Paulines. Admiral Benson invites Captain Tudmoke and some of his people over to Lunar Base 1 for a feast, and Tudmoke graciously accepts. Despite the Paulines' overtures of friendship, Benson remains extremely wary of their intentions. Captain Bramer, stay on yellow alert unless I tell you different, and keep them shields on. Also, Lieutenant, contact Commander Tice on his ship section and tell him to have a security team close by, but totally out of view when we have our dinner. Benson then gets on the phone with the President.
Admiral, I just want to say what a great job you're doing. We are all watching you down here on Earth. You're on every channel. I would like you to continue with what you just set up. I could not have done a better job than you just did, Admiral. Go ahead and have your dinner and get to know our new friends. Admiral Benson, I would also like to give my first combat promotion. Admiral, I'm making you Admiral of our space fleet.
Just so I've got this straight, the President is giving a combat promotion when no combat has occurred, and he's promoting the Admiral to the rank of Admiral? Admiral Benson tells his crew to start preparing some vegetarian entrees and to have some meat ready as a backup, but only if the Paulines ask for it. Here comes my other favorite line in this entire book. One more thing. I want everyone on their nicest behavior at this dinner. What is he afraid his crew is going to do? Start a food fight? Bring up politics and religion? Lace the tofurkey burgers with X-Lax? Benson, still not trusting the Paulines just yet, orders extra muscle for the dinner. I want a couple of our largest securities in full dress to join us. Finally, the shuttle carrying the alien delegation docks with Lunar Base 1, and we get our first glimpse of the Paulines.
They looked humanoid. They were way taller than us. I would say about 7 foot tall, and their face was rough-looking, almost as if they were burnt.
Okay, pause. Quick aside here. I was going to save this for later, but I think it needs to be mentioned now. Throughout the story, Dale Courtney often switches from third-person to first-person narration, sometimes mid-sentence. The really strange thing is, when he switches to first-person, you can't be sure who's actually talking. David? Benson? Dale Courtney himself? He also switches between past and present tense a lot, which can be very disconcerting. Back to the story.
Their skin color was a 3-tone of a light brown, and they had very little visible hair, but what hair they did have looked like thin black wire. They were muscular built, but had a slender side to them. Their arms and legs and torso looked elongated.
I don't know about you, but when I read this, I picture a cross between the Gorons from Legend of Zelda and the Ted's Hot Dogs mascot. The feast is by far the best scene in the book. This is like the first Thanksgiving in space. This is such a great honor for us at this historical meeting. We are sorry if you don't like our food. We didn't really know what to serve, so we put a little bit of everything out. If you have any questions, just ask. We hope you like it.
Thank you, Admiral, for your extra consideration. We eat about the same things you do. We have been watching your television for about 50 of your years. A lot of our little animals are similar to yours. We are like you in many ways.
I think Captain Tudmoke is being modest because the Paulines are actually a highly advanced species who use light-speed travel to explore the universe. They possess technology far greater than our own, and yet Tudmoke signals great interest in establishing trade with humankind. Admiral Benson tells Tudmoke how stoked he is about getting his hands on Pauline technology. Tudmoke is more than happy to share this technology, but it comes with a bizarre warning.
If we give you some type of our technology, and you used it to control your planet, we would be in trouble from our superiors.
Yeah, it's not so much the potential for technocratic fascism that concerns us, we just don't want to get in trouble with our bosses.
We also want to thank you for this great meal. What exactly is this here?
That's a vegetable we call asparagus. One of my favorites too. If you like asparagus, then I bet you'll like to try some of these. We call this a baked potato.
I believe I will try it. That's good. We have something like this on our planet. It's called stemage. What is this food here? It sure is good.
That is what we call a dessert on Earth. We usually eat our dessert after we eat our main meal. That particular dessert is called chocolate ice cream. Over the course of the meal, it comes out that the Paulines originally considered visiting Earth in 2008, but there was too much conflict at that time, and sharing their advanced technology with us would have been too risky. Admiral Benson puts any lingering doubts about humanity to rest. We are a peaceful people, more or less. That has to be the cagiest statement ever made about mankind.
Admiral, if you would like a tour of my ship, we have one of our rooms set up to look at some of the products that we trade throughout the universe. We also have like a museum of artifacts from other worlds if you would like to join us after our historically wonderful meal.
There's more talk of free trade agreements in this book than there are in The Phantom Menace. So I guess if you were worried that the aliens would turn out to be some kind of communist overlords, don't be.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
The Paulines are excited to get their hands on some of our asparagus and potatoes, and they're confident the humans will enjoy many Pauline goods too, including advanced medical technology. Admiral Benson promises to swap catalogs with Captain Tudmoke so each species can choose the products they're most interested in. Tudmoke invites Benson, Bramer, and a few other humans over to the Galumpa for a tour.
Our ship is, how do you say, 10 kilometers in diameter.
Like that. You say it 10 kilometers in diameter. Anyway, the humans are awestruck by the Death Star, the Galumpa. Besides an impressive array of weapons and other technology, the Galumpa boasts a menagerie of sorts, filled with odd-looking aliens and scary-looking characters from all over the universe. This includes at least one specimen each of a couple of sentient but hostile species, known as the Archons and the Thracians.
Archons were humanoid, but they looked like they were part snake and part human together. The Thracians looked like they were humanoid too, and some kind of a mammal mix. They had big dog-like teeth. The Thracians were also very tall and muscular. They were even bigger than the Paulines. They didn't have the slender look like the Paulines either. They just looked like they were solid muscle. They were giants about 8 foot tall. The Archons were our size, but they were scary looking.
The Archons and the Thracians are the main villains of Moon People. Yet, despite their intimidating appearance, it's hard to take either species seriously as an adversary. For one thing, the gentle Paulines never specifically refer to them as enemies, only as antisocial friends. For another thing, the Paulines possess greater numbers and far more advanced technology than both species combined. The humans return to Lunar Base 1, and Admiral Benson has another congratulatory phone call with the President. The humans and Paulines are in the middle of discussing more trade agreements when 4 Archon ships come up on scanner at the edge of the solar system. The Paulines immediately warp to that location to confront the Archons, purposely leaving the slower human ships behind so they won't get hurt. As I mentioned, the Paulines are vastly more powerful than the Archons, and they destroy one of the Archon ships almost immediately. Unfortunately, one of the remaining 3 ships breaks away from the battle and heads for Earth. This must be what Bud Walker meant earlier in the book when he said David would need some serious stones for this mission. Luckily, Lunar Base 1 is not helpless. Benson orders the lasers and rockets brought online, as well as the, small arms fire? What are they gonna do? Crack open the windows and start blasting? In a last-ditch attempt at diplomacy, Benson sends a message of peace to the Archons, but their reply is unintelligible. Human technology seems to be a little more on par with Archon technology, so it's a good fight, but in the end, the humans prevail. Meanwhile, an entire Pauline fleet arrives to mop up the remaining Archon ships. After the battle, the humans and Paulines spend some time patting each other on the back and assuring one another of their friendly intentions. The Paulines promise to share their amazing technology with Earth and usher humanity into an age of unparalleled prosperity.
Our worlds that day joined into a friendship that was pure gold, and Earth moved into a new age when space travel launches us into the Age of Aquarius.
So that's Moon People by Dale M. Courtney. The story's over, but our deep dive isn't finished yet. One of the things I want to explore is what the Age of Aquarius is and why it's so important to this book. The full title, after all, is Moon People, The Age of Aquarius. I also want to take a hard look at the strange man responsible for this story, Dale M. Courtney. We'll do all of that in part 3 of our Moon People series. Thanks for watching this far, and as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, happy reading and use a bookmark.